Alrighty, and we are live. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the podcast. Just gonna get the last few things set up, and we'll be ready to go. Hope everyone's day is going well, week is going well, weekend going well. Happy to be back doing live episodes again after last week having the last minute pre-record. Okay, set up. Just need audio set up. Okay, let us begin. Welcome to this week's episode of Benny in the Booth podcast. Thank you for all the support to this point. I very much do appreciate it. We've got MLB Weekly Recap with All-Star Game starters officially announced and the rest of the rosters, I think almost if not pretty much the rest of the rosters, being announced tonight at 5 p.m. If I could have gone live for that, but honestly, I don't want to be live that long, hopefully. So I won't just cover that in next week's episode, which anyways leads right to All-Star break, as next week is the All-Star game in Arlington, Texas. I was also at Reds Yankees on 4th of July. Did not end up being the best of games. They got whooped 8-4. It was all Reds all game long. I don't think I think I barely missed. If you're not aware, there was a standoff before the game on 4th of July. I think I barely missed it because I basically got to my seat once the game basically had started. I probably got into the stadium while it was happening, but I didn't see it because I think by the time I was already in my seat, they were already back in the dugouts or something. But yeah, so that was the game I was at. I just didn't notice the standoff. Just because I think I was there too late. But it's always nice to go time going to the stadium, solid stadium there. Ended up actually bumping into a cousin of mine. But yeah, last week, if you didn't catch, I had pre-recorded the episode because last weekend I was, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, I was in New Jersey for Sabbath, and I didn't get back till late Sunday night. And by the time I would have been able to post anything, it would have just been too late enough that I just did it on Monday, pre-recorded it, and posted it out as a video and now live stream on Monday. But so yeah. Also, my water issue is patched up for now. Probably will run into it more down the line at this moment, but that's one back to normal setup perspective. Um, but otherwise though, all's good. And yeah. Before we get into the weekly recap, let's dive into the All-Star Game starters. So I'm going to go over first the players, and then there's a lot of history that I found within players to multiple players. Well, let's start off with the starters. So for the American League, All-Star starting catchers Adley Rutschman from the Orioles, first baseman Vlad Jr. from the Blue Jays, second baseman Jose Altuve from the Astros, third baseman Jose Ramirez from the Guardians, shortstop Gunnar Henderson from the Orioles, DH Yordan Alvarez from Houston, outfield is Judge Soto from the Yankees, and Stephen Kwan from the Guardians. And that is the American League. For the National League, catcher is William Contreras of the Brewers. First baseman is Bryce Harper from the Phillies. Second baseman, Ketel Marte from Arizona. Shortstop is Trey Turner from the Phillies. Third baseman, Alec Bohm from the Phillies. DH is Shohei Ohtani from the Dodgers. Outfield is Christian Yelich from Milwaukee. Fernando Tatis Jr. and Jurickson Profar from the San Diego Padres. That is the official All-Star Game starters. Reserves are going to be announced tonight. So for historic stuff with almost all of the players, with Adley, he's the fourth player in Orioles/St. Louis Browns history to start an All-Star game at catcher, joining Gus Triandos between 1958 and 1959. Terry Kennedy in 1987, and Raleigh Hemsley in 1935. In terms of Vlad Jr., he is the fourth Blue Jay player to start 3+ All-Star games, joining Jose Bautista 4, Roberto Alomar 4, Joe Carter 3, and all other players in Blue Jays history have 3 All-Star game starts at first base combined between 2017 Justin Smoak, 2003 Carlos Delgado, and 1993 John Olerud. He's the first player to start All-Star game at first base in 3 seasons before turning 26. His 5 All-Star game starts all at second base is 5th most for second baseman behind Ryan Sandberg and Roberto Alomar's 9, Rod Carew 8, Nellie Fox and Joe Morgan 7, and Charlie Gallagher and Billy Herman 6. He and his dad are now second father-son duo to each be All-Stars at least 4 times, joining Gus and Buddy Bell. For Jose Altuve, his 5th All-Star game start, breaking tie with Craig Biggio for most in Astros history. For Gunnar Henderson, who will be 23 years and 17 days old the day of the All-Star game, which is 4th youngest Orioles/St. Louis Browns player in history with an All-Star game start older than 1959. Jerry Walker was 20 years, 172 days. 1960, Ron Hansen, 22 years, 97 days, and 99 days, as there was 2 All-Star games that year. And 1943, Vern Steffens, 22 years and 263 days, is also 8th player in Orioles/St. Louis Browns history to start All-Star game at shortstop, joining Cal Ripken Jr. 14 times, 1983 and 1996. Vern Steffen twice in 1943 and 1944, Ron Hansen twice, both in 1960, Bobby Rich in 1972, Miguel Tejada in 2005, J.D. Hardy in 2013, and Manny Machado in 2018. Jose Ramirez, his 3rd All-Star game start. He is one of 2 Cleveland third basemen all time with multiple All-Star game starts, joining Ken Keltner 5 times in 1942, 43, 44, 46, and 48, and one of the most famous third basemen in Cleveland baseball team history, Al Rosen, who did it 3 times between 1952, 1953, and 1954. Well, not really between, but in 1952, 1953, and 1954. Nothing with Yordan Alvarez. For Aaron Judge, his 5th season making an All-Star game start, which is 4th most seasons doing so among Yankees outfielders, behind Mickey Mantle's 11, Joe DiMaggio's 9, and Dave Winfield's 7. For Juan Soto, his 3rd All-Star game in 3 straight seasons with 3 different teams from 2022 to 2024, joining 2013 to 15 Nelson Cruz did it with Rangers, Orioles, and Mariners, 2005-2007 Alfonso Soriano with Rangers, Nationals, and Cubs, 2004-2006 Paulo Duco with the Dodgers, Marlins, and Mets, 1993-1995 Lee Smith with the Cardinals/Yankees, Orioles, and Angels, 1976-1978 Goose Gossage with the White Sox, Pirates, and Yankees, 1954-1956 Jim Wilson with the Milwaukee Braves, Orioles, and White Sox, 1948-1950 Walker Cooper, New York and San Francisco/San Francisco Giants, Cincinnati Reds, and Brooklyn/LA Dodgers. And 1942 to 1944, Bob Johnson, Philadelphia Athletics, Washington Senators/Twins, and Boston Red Sox. Also, Judge and Soto will be the second Yankees outfield duos to be All-Star game stars in the same year in the last 3 seasons, joining 1985 to 88 Ricky Henderson, Dave Winfield, 1981 Reggie Jackson, Dave Winfield, 1960-1962 Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris, 1953-1954 Hank Power, Mickey Mantle, 1942 Joe DiMaggio, Tommy Henrik, 1948 Joe DiMaggio and Carly Keller, 1939 DiMaggio and George Selkirk, and 1933 Ben Chapman and Babe Ruth. And for Stephen Kwan, he is the first Cleveland player to start an All-Star game in the outfield since Juan Gonzalez in 2001. He's also the youngest Cleveland player to start an All-Star game in the outfield since 25-year-old Vic DeValillo in 1965. 8 Cleveland outfielders have started in the All-Star game in between. For William Contreras, he is the 3rd Milwaukee catcher to start an All-Star game, joining 3rd Milwaukee player to start an All-Star game at catcher since joining Jonathan Lucroy in 2014 and Ted Simmons in 1983. Ketel Marte, he's the 2nd Diamondback to make multiple All-Star game starts, joining Goldschmidt's 3 with the Diamondbacks. Trey Turner, 5th Phillies player to start an All-Star game at shortstop, joining 2002 Jimmy Rollins, 1974, 1978 through 1979 Larry Boa, 1952 Granny Hamner, and 1933 Dick Bartell. For Alec Boehm, 6th player in Phillies history to start All-Star game at third base, joining Mike Schmidt, 1965, 1967, and 67. Dick Allen, 2002 Scott Rowland, 1950 Willie Jones, and 1936 Pinky Whitney. Also, Bohm, Harper, and Turner are the first Philly infield to start All-Star game together since Mike Schmidt, P. Rose, and Manny Trillo in 1982. Still got a bit more history to go. For Yelich, he is the second Brewers player to start multiple All-Star games in the outfield, joining Ryan Braun's four. Jurickson Profar, one of three San Diego Padres to start an All-Star game in the outfield, joining Tony Gwynn 1984, 1985, 1986, 1989, 1991, 92, 96 through 99, and Dave Winfield 1979. Profar's 11th season before first All-Star game start First start in an All-Star game is tied for fourth most in MLB history since 1933, tied with Dave Henderson 1991, Frank Howard 1968, Joe Adcock 1960, Eddie Juice 1949, and Phil Cabrera 1944, and behind Raul Bonius 14 years in 2009, Nick Marquez 13 years in 2018, and Walt Weiss 12 years in 1998. Fernando Tatis Jr. is the first player to start All-Star game both in outfield and at shortstop in a career. One of four players to be selected to an All-Star team in separate seasons, at least once as primary shortstop, and that year entering the All-Star game, and at least once as primarily an outfielder, joining Harvey Quinn, Tom Trash, Ian Desmond, with Mookie Betts possibly having a chance to join that list as well. Depending on what the outcome is with tonight's results. Profar and Tatis will be the first Padres outfielder duo to start an All-Star game, same All-Star game, and first San Diego Padres to start together any position since Ken Caminiti and Tony Gwynn in 1997. Harper and Fernando Tatis Jr. are also two 15 players to have started at least one All-Star game in both outfield and infield in their careers. Also, with this All-Star game, fun fact, Rangers are the third defending World Series champions to host the All-Star game following right after winning the World Series, joining 1939 Yankees, 1934 New York Giants, now, of course, San Francisco Giants, and only teams to win World Series after hosting All-Star game, 1977 Yankees, 1959 Dodgers, and 1939 Yankees. Though, let's be honest, Rangers are not off the best start this year. Just give me a moment. Sorry about that. Okay. Now on to this week's actual notes. So obviously July 1st was Canada Day. And on Canada Day, Blue Jays, of course, played but lost 3-1. Hunter Brown went 6 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts with a .29 ERA over the last 5 starts, which makes him 4th pitcher and 6th pitcher with a sub .30 ERA in 5 start span in Houston history, joining 1986 Jim DeShays, who's now color analyst for the Cubs. 1984, 1981 Nolan Ryan, and 1980, 1979 J.R. Richard. Mets beat the Nats 9-7 in 10 innings. 6-run 10th for the Mets is tied for high scoring extra inning in franchise history with August 1st, 2001 at Houston 10th inning and June 30th, 1979 at the Cubs 11th inning. Also, James Wood made his debut and got hit his first at bat for first major league hit and also recorded his first major league home run this week. Red Sox beat the Marlins 8-3. Jarren Duran's solo home run in the 8th is his 10th homer this season, making it 10 homers, 10 triples, 23 doubles on season in 84 games, which makes it 5th fewest games played, 10 homers, 10 plus triples, 10 plus doubles in a season in the last 70 seasons, behind 2003 Nomar Garcia Parra, 65 games, 1984 Ryan Sandberg, 72 games, Curtis Granderson's in 2007, 75 games, and in 2007 Jimmy Rollins, 80 games. One moment. Okay. Oh, I've already skipped in July 2nd. That was July 1st for the Mets and the first Blue Jay and the Blue Jays. July 2nd, Phillies beat the Cubs 6-4. Michael Mercado's first major league start win, 5 innings, giving up 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. He's the first Philly starting pitcher to allow no more than 2 hits and 1 run in 5+ innings in his first major league start since Fabio Castro on August 23rd, 2007. Mets beat the Nats 7-2 in 10 innings. 5-run 10th for the Mets leads to win. Mets have become 4th team to score 5+ runs in extra innings in back-to-back games, joining 2021 Diamondbacks, 1994 White Sox, and 1973 Reds. DJ Hurts' 10 strikeouts makes him second pitcher with 2 10 strikeout, no walks games in first 6 career outings since 1901, joining former National Steven Strasburg in 2010. And that's the entire list, which is crazy. It's in all of baseball, and it's only Nationals pitchers. Reds beat the Yankees 5-4 with Ellie De La Cruz leadoff triple in the 4th, 2-run homer in the 5th. He now has 5 games with at least 1 triple and 1 homer in first 185 career games, which he is second player to do so since 1901, tied with for most Ted Williams. Also now has 15 homers and 40 stolen bases this season in 85 games, making him 5th fewest games played to have 15 homers and 40+ stolen bases in the season, behind 1986 Eric Davis 75, 1980, 1990, 1985 Ricky Henderson 76, 78, and 84, and 2023 Ronald Acuna Jr.'s 84. Rangers beat the Padres 7-0. Nathaniel Lowe 2-homer game is his 5th career multi-homer game and first since July 1st, 2021 at Oakland. Orioles beat the Mariners 2-0. Grayson Rodriguez 6 in the 3rd, getting the win, giving up 2 hits, 1 no earned runs, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts, facing 10-3 on the season, and 3rd Orioles pitcher to log 10 wins in the first 15 appearances of the season at 22 years or younger, joining Wally Buckner in 1964 and Jim Palmer in 1969, and being he debuted last year, it is not to start his career. That is it for July 2nd. For July 3rd, Tigers beat the Twins 9-2. First time Tigers have 4 home runs, including Carson Kelly grand slam and Wenzel Perez going back-to-back, and 3 triples in a game for first time since 1906. The Brewers beat the Rockies 3-0. Colin Ray is second Brewers pitcher to toss at least 7 innings without allowing a run in Coors Field, joining Chris Capuano in 2005. A's beat the Angels 5-0. Joey Estes complete game shutout on Maddox, 92 pitches, which is under 100 pitches, giving up 5 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. First Oakland to throw a complete game shutout since Sean Manaea on June 2nd, 2021 versus Mariners, and first Oakland starting pitcher to throw Maddox since Kendall Graveman on August 19, 2016 against the White Sox. And for Independence Day, Cubs hammered the Phillies 10-2. Ian Happ 2-homer game, 1 from each side of home plate. The same time he's done so since May 7th, 2018 versus the Marlins, and first Cub to do so since Victor Caratini on July 3rd, 2019. Nationals beat the Mets 1-0. Jake Irvin got the win, 8 scoreless innings, giving up 1 hit and striking out. A becomes first National to go 8+ scoreless innings, had no more than 1 hit allowed since Gio Gonzalez on July 31st, 2017. Also second National starting pitcher with joining Max Scherzer in 2015 as only Nationals pitchers in Nationals history from 2005 and on, and not including the Expos days, with at least 6 innings while allowing no more than 1 hit 3 times in the season. Reds beat the Yankees 8-4. This was all Reds all game long. Obviously, there's the standoff at the Anthem, and Ben Rice hit his first major league home run in this game. They're not the biggest headline for him in this week. I could have included him in the thumbnail in hindsight. Mariners beat the Orioles 7-3. Gunnar Henderson's 2-run homer in the 3rd is his 26th homer this season from the leadoff spot, which is tied for most in Orioles history with 1996 Brady Anderson, and 1 behind George Springer from 2017 for most homers out of leadoff spot on the team's first 87 games of the season, and 15 behind 2023 Ronald Acuna Jr. for most homers in the season on a leadoff spot with 41. Also is his 27th homer this season, which is tied for most homers as a shortstop in team's first 87 games of the season, tied with 2002 and 1998 E-Rod and 1968 Ernie Banks, and most homers as a shortstop in the season, 2002 A-Rod 57 and 2001 A-Rod 52. We're coming up on a big headline of a game because someone's gone like went ridiculous against one team this week. Giants beat the Braves 4-2. Julio Ramos had a 2-run homer in the 4th, which is his 12th this season, which is most by a Giants player in under age of 25 years old in his first 51 games of the season since Dave Kingman 1972, which I'll admit, I knew who Dave Kingman was. I did not know he even played for the San Francisco Giants prior to these notes. And here's the big one. Diamondbacks beat the Dodgers 9-3. Christian Walker's 2-homer game makes it now that he has 19 career home runs at Dodger Stadium, which is tied for most in first 40 plus career games at Dodger Stadium, tied with Cody Bellinger, and is also 8 more than anyone else as a visitor since 2018. Also now marks he has homered in each of his last 5 games at Dodger Stadium, which is tied for the longest single season homer streak in games at Dodger Stadium with 2015 Jock Peterson. If we include streaks spanning seasons, we also have 2014 to 15 Adrian Gonzalez and 1999 to 2000 Gary Sheffield. Also, the streak is tied for longest single season homer streak in games at the Dodgers, even before Dodger Stadium days, with 1956-1959 Willie Mays, 1956 Joe Adcock, and 1955 Del Ennis. Also, the streak is tied with 1960 Eddie Matthews and 1956 Willie Mays and 1927 Cy Williams for third longest homer streak in games versus Dodgers, behind only 1956 Joe Adcock 9 and 1926 to 1927 Cy Williams 6. He is also first players with 7 homers in a 5-game span. Again, at the Dodgers. Also, his 19 homers at Dodger Stadium is first 42 games at the stadium is most ever. His 7 homers are tied for most in a 5-game span versus the Dodgers, with 2003 Todd Helton and 2001 to 2002 Barry Bonds and 1958 Willie Mays. Also, his 9 homers in first 9 games versus Dodgers this season is tied for second most in first 9 games versus an opponent in a season, tied with 1999 Sammy Sosa versus Rockies and 1995 Jay Buhner versus Twins, and behind 1971 Willie Stargell against 10 against the Atlanta Braves. From July 5th, Cubs beat the Angels 5-1. Justin Steele, his first Cubs pitcher to throw 9-inning complete game in 95 pitches or less, of course, sort of a max, but not a complete max, since Kyle Hendricks' 81-pitch gem versus the Cardinals on May 3rd, 2019. He is the first Cubs left-handed pitcher to have a 9-inning complete game with no more than 95 pitches since Jamie Moyer on June 3rd, 1998 versus Mets. Also, this is his first career complete game, by the way. Also, first pitcher drafted by the Cubs to throw a complete game since Jeff Samardzija on August 19, 2013 against the Nationals. Also, first Cubs left-handed pitcher to throw a complete game since Cole Hamels on August 23, 2018 versus the Reds. Pirates hammered the Mets 14-2. Paul Skeens 78 strikeouts and 12 walks and 14 runs allowed in career through this all-in-one season, as he only made his debut this year, are all historic. He is second starting pitcher with 70-plus strikeouts and less than 15 walks in first 10 career starts since 1901, joining Masahiro Tanaka in 2014, 79 strikeouts and 10 walks. 78 strikeouts is also 7th most strikeouts in first 10 career appearances since 1901, behind 1998 Kerry Woods 98, 1955 Herb Score 92, 1983 Jose De Leon 85, 1995 Hideo Nomo 83, 1984 Doc Gooden 80, and 2014 Masahiro Tanaka, and 2017 Steven Strasburg 79. His 14 runs allowed are fewest of the 16 pitchers with at least 70 strikeouts in their first 10 career appearances since 1901. He is also first pitcher with 7-plus strikeouts in at least 9 of his first 10 career appearances since 1901. Also, the Pirates had 7 homers in this game, which is tied for the most in a game in Pirates history, with May 26, 2023 at the Mariners, August 20th, 2003 at the Cardinals, August 16th, 1947 against the Cardinals, and June 6th, 1894 at Boston. Also, the 2 grand slams in this game for Pittsburgh is tied for the most in a game in Pirates history, with April 16, 1996, September 14, 1982, and May 1st, 1993, and June 22nd, 1925. Rangers beat the Rays 3-0. Michael Lorenzen is fourth Rangers pitcher in their version of Senators history to author multiple scoreless starts of at least 5 innings with 5-plus walks in a single season, with joining Bobby Witt in 1987, Ed Gray in 1986, and Jim Bibby in 1973. Padres beat the Diamondbacks 10-8. Manny Machado walk-off two-run homer is his 8th career walk-off homer, all since 2014, which is most in MLB in that span, and this happened on his 32nd birthday. Happy belated birthday, Manny Machado. Dodgers beat the Brewers 8-5. Rhys Hoskins' 4th inning grand slam is his Milwaukee's 7th grand slam this season, only seasons in Brewers history with more is 1995's 10, 2007's 8, and 1980 also 8. There are also third teams since 1900 with 6 Grand Slams and 13 game span, joining 2020 Slam Diego, 2 overlapping spans, and 1996 Montreal Expos / who are now the Washington Senators. Also, Will Smith is fourth Dodgers catcher between LA and Brooklyn history with days with the 3-homer game as a catcher, joining July 8th, 2016, Yasmani Grandal, June 29th, 1996, Mike Piazza, and August 26th, 1950, Roy Campanella. Also, general fact on this day, there were 5 Grand Slams MLB wide, which is tied for the 4th most on a single date in MLB history behind June 3rd, 2017, 7, May 5th, 2021, 6, and May 21st, 2000 with 6, and tied with May 5th, 2019, April 20th, 2001, July 22nd, 2000, and August 9th, 1999. Also, the second date in MLB history, which 3 teams won despite allowing Grand Slams during July 28th, 1996. And then as for yesterday's games, almost done with the notes. Yankees beat the Red Sox 14-4. Ben Rice leadoff homer on 6th pitch of the bottom of the first makes him the 11th Yankee to have a leadoff homer within first 2 career homers in Yankees history, along with May 14th, 2023, Anthony Volpe, June 24th, 1998, Roberto Kelly, July 25th, 1959, Bobby Richardson, June 25th, 1944, Snuffy Sternweiss, April 23rd, 1926, Mark Koenig. This is the craziest name I found of all of this. June 21st, 1921, Chicken Hawks. Yes, you heard me right. A person who played baseball from 1921 to 1925, I looked up the exact data, his name was Chicken Hawks. And he did not have a good career. I'll re-pull up the numbers. Like, that is crazy. And there's also someone that was Chicken Wolf from, like, way years back. Was a first baseman, pincher, outfielder. Died in 1973 at 77 years old, but played for the Yankees in 1921. Injured from, or I guess minor leagues or something, from 1922 to 1924, and 1925 with Philadelphia Phillies, but did not have great stats really for his career. .8 or 124 hits, 7 home runs, a .316 batting average. Just didn't play that much. But yeah, just like craziest name I've seen with historic stats ever, really. Anyways, getting back to that and not going off topic, but I wanted to share that. May 12th, 1920, Aaron Ward. April 30th, 1919, Sammy Vick. September 3rd, 1914, Fritz Meisel. July 8th, 1910, Burt Daniels. Rice is also second Yankees rookie with multi-homer game from leadoff spot, joining August 7th, 1962, Tom Dresch. He's also third rookie with 3-homer game from leadoff spot, joining August 16th, 2019, Mike Yastrzemski. And August 1st, 2009, Andrew McCutcheon is first Yankees rookie with 3-homer game. His 17 games into career to a 3-homer game. His third fewest games into career to have a 3-homer game behind August 10th, 2019, Aristides Aquino, and September 4th, 1997, Bobby Estalella, 10, and April 3rd, 2018, Christian Villanueva, and September 26th, 2015, Jared Parker, 14. 26th 3-homer game in Yankees history, and first since Judge on September 22nd last year against the Diamondbacks. Also Rice's 7 RBIs matches Lou Gehrig from July 23rd, 1925 versus the Senators, but now Twins for most by Yankees rookie RBI-wise. Twins beat the Astros 9-3. Jose Miranda's 12th straight at-bats with a hit is tied for most for MLB record all-time, but most in modern day, but all-time. Tied with Johnny King in 1902, Pinky Higgins in 1938, and Walt Drobo in 1952. Nationals beat the Cardinals 14-6. James Wood is third player in 21 years or younger at time of game in National/Expos history with 1 homer and 1 double and 5 RBIs in the game, joining Victor Robles on September 26, 2018, and Ryan Zimmerman on August 18, 2006. Also joins Luis Matos, who also did so, but 6 RBIs on May 18th this season. Almost done with the notes part. Tigers beat the Reds 5-3. Andrew Chafin at 34 years and 19 days old is the oldest Tigers left-handed pitcher to record a save since Frank Tanana on August 2nd, 1990 at Old Yankee Stadium. Wenzel Perez pinch hit game-tying two-run homer, his first pinch hit homer by Tiger player since Tyler Nevin on September 27th, 2023 versus the Royals, and first by Tiger rookie since Eric Haas on July 6th, 2021. Dodgers beat the Brewers 5-3. Will Smith go-ahead two-run homer in the first marks 4 straight homers and 4 straight ABs, making him third Dodgers player to do so, joining April 7th, 8th, 2015, Adrian Gonzalez, and 2002, Sean Green. Also third Brooklyn Dodgers / LA Dodgers with 4 homers in 2 game span as a catcher, joining 1995 and 96 Piazza and 1950 Roy Campanella. He's also third player with a homer in 4 straight at-bats as a catcher in all 4 joining 1996 Benito Santiago and 1973 Gianni Bench. And the last game, Rockies beat the Royals 3-1. Brent Doyle's 4th player in the 21st century to have a 4-game stretch with at least 11 hits, 8 extra base hits, 9 RBI, and 4 walks, and a stolen base, joining Josh Donaldson from July 14th and 18th, 2016, Mike Sweeney from June 28th to July 2nd, 2001, and Todd Helton from May 12th to the 17th, 2001. That's it for the notes. For standings update in a moment. Orioles in first place at 56 and 33 for the AL East, followed by the Yankees at 55 and 36, followed by the Red Sox in 48 and 40, followed by the Rays in 44 and 45, followed by the Blue Jays in 40 and 49. In the AL Central, the Guardians in first place 55 and 32, followed by the 50 and 39 Twins, followed by the 48 and 43 Royals, followed by the 41 and 48 Tigers, followed by the 26 and 65 White Sox. In the AL West, the Mariners in first place 49 and 42, followed by the 46 and 43 Astros, followed by the 41 and 48 Rangers, followed by the 37 and 51 Angels, followed by the 34 and 57 A's. In the NL East, the Phillies in first place at 58 and 31, followed by the 48 and 39 Braves, followed by the 43 and 44 Mets, followed by the 42 and 47 Nationals, followed by the 31 and 58 Marlins. In the NL Central, the Brewers in first place at 52 and 38, followed by the 46 and 42 Cardinals, followed by the 42 and 46 Pirates, followed by the 42 and 47 Reds, followed by the 41 and 49 Cubs. And then the NL West, Dodgers in first place at 55 and 35, followed by the 49 and 44 Padres, followed by the 44 and 45 Diamondbacks, followed by the 44 and 46 Giants, followed by the 32 and 57 Rockies. As for the games that have not started yet today, Orioles at A's at 4:07, Grayson Rodriguez against Mitch Spence. Diamondbacks at Padres at 4:10, Ryan Nelson against Dylan Cease. Blue Jays at Mariners 4:10, Jose Barrios versus George Kirby. Brewers at Dodgers 4:10, Dallas Keuchel, who just joined the team recently, against Justin Robleski, who I imagine would be his major league debut, and seems like it. And then Sunday Night Baseball once again is Red Sox at Yankees 7:10, Carter Crawford against Luis Gil. After the games have already started today, hold on. And then the games that have gone final, or there haven't been any games gone final yet. Cubs are up over the Angels 3-0 through 6. Tigers over the Reds 5-1 through 8. Mets over the Pirates right now 1-0 top 8. Braves over the Phillies 6-0 top 8. Guardians over Giants 5-3 bottom 7. White Sox over Marlins 4-1 bottom 7. Cardinals over the Nationals 8-3 top 7. Astros over the Twins 3-2 top 6. Rays losing to the Rangers 7-2 bottom 5. Royals over Rockies 4-0 bottom 3. And then the rest of the games are either getting ready to start or haven't started yet. That is it for this week's episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for watching, listening. If you're new on YouTube, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell, and so everybody when I go live and or post a new video. If you're new on audio, follow the podcast, new review, hit notification bell, so notified when I post on there. Thank you so much for watching, listening, and I'll see you next week's episode 130. Bye-bye.